So Caleb Williams appears to be the number 1 overall pick, and he will be going to the Chicago Bears. And Deion Sanders, your former teammate, LaVar Arrington, had some advice or some concern or a warning, if you will, to levy to Caleb Williams and supporters of Caleb Williams about him potentially being the number 1 pick of the Chicago Bears and how the weather could impact some of what's going on with Caleb Williams.
This kid can flat out play. I think he's the best one on the board this year for sure. A kid that's coming from California and went to Oklahoma, that is not terribly cold. Chicago's cold, man. You got to think about that kind of stuff when you're taking a young man. Like, see, when you take a guy from Ohio State and you bring him to Chicago, okay, I can understand that. But from California to Chicago,
that's a factor.
Hey, man.
A lot of wind.
Not only that, I think they add, 1 or 2 more games in the NFL? So the game is 17 games. 17 games? Come on, man. You got to factor in that stuff. That stuff matters.
That's a good point. So that will be an adjustment for him.
That matters. Like, I don't want my kid going nowhere cold next year. He grew up in Texas. He played in Jackson, played in Colorado. Season's over before it gets cold in Colorado. I'm just thinking way ahead. I don't want that for him.
So that was Deion Sanders on Sirius XM.
That's cap.
Telling.
That's cap. He's from D.C. Like, Oklahoma gets cold as hell, for one. And he played Pee Wee League and high school ball in the DMV. So to say you take a guy from Ohio State, I mean, it's the same area. That's Maryland. Maryland's a Big Ten school. That's a Big Ten. It's Big Ten country.
And, like, you know, if you want to go Ohio State, Justin Fields grew up outside Atlanta.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's cap. And maybe it's because he just doesn't know where Caleb is originally from. But Caleb spent 2 years of his life in California. Your body hasn't. I'll tell you straight out. I'm from the Berg. I know cold weather my whole entire.
Berg?
Yeah, 412 baby. I'll tell you straight out. It took at least. Maybe it was a year or two. Maybe it was like a year or two that it took for me to be like, I ain't never going back to the cold. I'll never go back to the cold. Nope. I won't do it.
Yeah, you got that Cali in you now.
But whoa, pause, bro.
the state, not the name.
Oh, okay, all right. You know, my thing is he's young. He's a young dude. Like, I'm an old guy, so I got, you know, when it's about to rain, my knee goes crazy. You know, when the gravitational pull is going a certain type of way, my body reacts to it. Like my back, like all kinds of stuff.
Spinal.
It's spinal. My back. It's broken. It's broken. Yeah, but for Caleb Williams, he's young, and he does still have his strong connection and ties in D.C., Maryland, Virginia. So I don't foresee. Now I will say this: Chicago is cold.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's cold.
It's the coldest moment of my entire life was my buddy and I walking in downtown Chicago, and a gust of wind blew through the buildings and hit us and literally stopped us in our tracks. And I said, that's the coldest thing I've ever felt in my life. Oh, yeah.
That's why they call it the Hawk. When that thing screeched out, that air goes straight through your bones. It doesn't, like, that's a different type of, like, air going through your body. It goes through your bones.
And when we say the Hawk, we don't mean the former Chicago Cub Andre Dawson, who, by the way, now runs a funeral home. So if you've got a corpse you're looking to unload, just call the Hawk and he'll get it done for you.
Talk about a business that doesn't go out of style.
Listen, man, one of the great rackets in this entire country.
You're going to do two things, they said. You're going to pay your taxes and you're going to die.
It's because they guilt you into the better coffin, too. They tell you, hey, listen, you know, how much did you really love him?
I was just watching a show.
I'll go Oak. All right, that'll be $5,000.
Where they're cryogenically, like, so that stuff when we was joking about Walt Disney, like that stuff is really true.
Yeah. Ted Williams.
Like they're putting themselves on cryo ice or whatever because they believe that technical advances will go so far at some point that they'll be able to bring them back to life when it happens.
The guy who created Disney is a human otter pop. Think about that.
I kind of thought about it. Like, I kind of entertained that. Like, man, can you imagine if, they said you have to be clinically dead before they do this procedure to you, but they basically, like, wrap you in, like, a cryo blanket or something like that, and then they freeze you up, and then they put you in this, like, capsule container or whatever, seal you up.
Is it like a modern day mummy?
No, because you're not aging. It's not even mummification.
Yeah,
it's like you're
no
not
BO at all involved. Yeah, not in those conditions. So you're fine.
Like if they were to take a mummy and pull the like bandages off, it's like their skin is gone and everything. It's like these people are preserved.
Put it to you this way: Ted Williams, I think the last at about 400, if I'm not mistaken. I think he batted 406. If you want to get a hold of Ted Williams right now, you got to move aside some fish sticks and some Eggo waffles. That's where you got to find
He's in the back
guy.
of the freezer.
Right in the back there. Like it's like, hey, where is he?
Hey, there's Granddad's head.
It's behind the dryers.
Oh no.
It's like a lot of ways you can handle this stuff.
I don't know, man, but they said that like the technological advances, like they're gonna be able to bring them back or like regenerate a new person. And I don't know. Is that going to be Tad Johnson? Is it going to be Walt Disney, or is it going to be a different person?
Ted Williams.
Ted what did I say? That's my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Jeez. He could use it too.
Oh, jeez. All right. But by the way, wasn't Ted? Was that Ted Washington who was the D tackle?
Ted Washington.
Yeah.
Big Ted. He's still around, I believe.
That was a big dude.
Big dude. Keith Trailer.
Yeah, no wonder Brian Urlacher had room to roam.
Jeez.
You had two semis in front of you
that could move.
But here's what, like when Deion says the cold weather and concern about Caleb Williams. All right, so say he says no to Chicago. Who's next? Washington. All right, say he says no to Washington because of the weather. Who's next? New England.
Why would you say no to your home?
But
that's
like
so
the point
dumb.
is, if cold weather was really that much of a factor, like he doesn't really have a lot of options. Like those, like he's not getting past one, let alone two
factors too. Like you got to deal with cold. Like that's just what it is. You got to deal with cold. Like it's still warm in Boulder before like when seasons like come on Deion, you know better than that, bro. Come on. That's all the way cap. Like like what? We got to take that into consideration. Okay, what quarterback is ready to go play in Chicago? A quarterback that's already in Chicago? A Wisconsin quarterback? An Iowa quarterback? A Minnesota quarterback? Like, that's what this is all coming down to now? Now we got to pay attention to the geographical location of where these guys are from? Damn.
By the way, I have a question for you.
Come on.
Don't judge me.
All right.
What is cap?
All right. Cap is like, that's not true. That's inaccurate. That ain't, you're not being honest. Like no cap means like is like, oh, that's truth.
So it's just a faster way.
Like
of
I'm
saying,
telling you the truth.
It's a faster way of saying crap. Like that's crap. That's cap. You just take the R out. And
that's crap.
Yeah, but that's cap instead.
But that's cap.
All right,
that's cap. You're lying.
So
like
just
that's not accurate. Like you're selling it.
So the R is silent. Basically, is
but crap is funny too, though. Yeah. We could go with no. Yeah, that's crap.
That's crap.
That's crap.
That is crap.
No crap.
Well, listen, if Caleb Williams has a problem
no crap means that there's no crap. Like, you're good to go. You're clean.
If he's got a problem with the weather, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's cold in Chicago. Like it's
cold.
But it's also, like, pretty hot and humid early in the season as well, too. So you're going to have to deal with all that. And, like, the humidity in South Florida, you got to deal with that from time to time.
Man,
like,
people have played in cold weather for the beginning of time, man. Some of the greatest quarterbacks have come from Green Bay. That's one of the coldest places to play. Where did Aaron Rodgers come from? California? He was at Cal? Where was he at in high school? Where's he from?
Chico, Northern California.
Okay.
Big party state, or party college.
And that's not crazy warm, but it ain't cold. It's not crazy cold. You know, Joe Montana, he's from the Berg. Played in South Bend. I guess he's okay with playing in the cold, even though he played in San Fran. Tom Brady's a Cali kid. He did all right in Boston.
It was fine.
Did all right in Michigan.
Yeah, there's a lot of examples.
I don't think that's not valid to me. That's just that's cap, man.
Yeah. Fill out your tourney brackets now in the Fox Sports Radio Bracket Challenge. Visit foxsportsradio.com now to register, fill out your bracket, and get rules. You can compete against Fox Sports Radio hosts and fellow listeners to see who has the best bracket. The winning bracket wins the ultimate college sports trip for you and a friend with a $2,000 Graduate Hotels gift card, a $1,500 travel credit, and a basketball swag bag. The foxsportsradio.com Bracket Challenge is now live, and it is presented by Graduate Hotels, where college fans stay, and by Tractor Supplies.